Organizations shift like the Titanic, but I hope they don't have the same outcome. Um, the introduction of multiculturalism and diversity as an asset and not a barrier or a negative. I can get disappointed that for so many people this has not been their regular life experience, dealing with talking about openly racism, sexism, classism, homophobia. And for me, it was the way I operated in the world. And so I could get disappointed, or I could get angry that what's taking you so long to get the obvious. And then I have to realize it's obvious to me. And when you've not had to think about it or walk in these shoes, you get a certain privilege. And I have to be patient and be willing to work so that I have allies and more friends who are willing to do this walk with me. So I think some of the challenge, and at times it's very disappointing when the obvious is not obvious, and yet I know we all know there's an elephant in the room. So how do I temper that? To go back to the table again, to be willing to expand the conversation. It gets pretty wearying. It gets wearing and wearying. And I don't let the disappointment stay with me. I figure out how to work with it, work through it. And I remember Dr. King and Septima Clark and all those women and unsung heroines as well as heroes, and what they went through and how long they stood the test. But disappointment that we're not farther. Joy around Barack Obama, but that's one moment in the midst of, and how can I have both of those? The joy of where we are and enough fire that we have farther to go. How can I have both of those kind of existing, if it's possible, or coexisting? That's my hardest struggle, is not to be so disappointed at momentary things where people are, but to look at this longer road and see how far we've come. Interacting with people. I told someone that I am really very much a socially adept loner. Nobody ever believes that, but I put so much passion and energy into engaging people, connecting people, creating ways of people seeing whatever it is we're working on. I say I paint pictures with words, that I so want to engage people in a way that we can do some fabulous thinking and creating and being and building. That's my greatest joy. I'm a people person, but that takes so much energy and focus and deliberateness that I disappear because I'm a reader and a loner, and I pull myself in. So it takes a lot of work to be a social butterfly and a social activist butterfly. And so I think that being with people, seeing people where they are and for who they are, and being able and willing to risk figuring out how to be with them is what's one of my challenges, and that's one of my strengths, is that I'm always willing to try to meet you where I think you are, and to have you correct that assumption and tell me who you are and where you are, and see what we can do together.